Feel good and validate yourself and your decision that you are making. At the end of the day, stop talking to people who don't allow you to see things in the right perspective by. I don't know if there's much to pull apart from this, simply because this is coming from the man that drove from his girlfriend's house to the Cheesecake Factory for my first date with him in September, knowing full well that he lived with her, but told me she was in California and that he owned the house that she was home at with their daughter. The only thing that I would need to use in court pertaining to our text thread would be just the confirmation that the man that was pregnant the entire time and was going my entire pregnancy. Just the confirmation that he was well aware that he needed to go and get lab work done for our son, and he refused. Just that. I also have the notes from the physician and from the lab about the calls that they made and you failed to respond to. And I have my emails. But I didn't really need a whole entire text thread to get what I'm gonna get in court. I didn't. I need this text thread to validate myself. I mean, I guess that's true. I mean, because without the conversation, who was gonna really believe me anyway? You know what I mean? Like, you'd be able to sit up here and say, she's crazy, she's lying, and I'd be like, well, I mean, it's his word versus mine. But no, bitch. I do have the thread, and that's exactly what I'm sharing. Might I suggest a text now number or like a track phone? Because I just don't think this is in your favor. By the way, when I share the text thread and I cover the greater portion of your phone number, I leave the area code in the front on purpose, in case you didn't notice. That's on purpose so everyone can see that it's a California number, so they know that I am in fact actually talking about you. Also, the screenshots of any bank statements or any emails, I leave the J in your name. I cover up the rest, but I leave the J on purpose. Yeah, that was calculated. I did it on purpose. Okay, he said, my responses are making sense. You just don't want to agree. You barely know me like I barely know you, and you think this is okay. You need to get things in order for you and your two boys with autism. This is just an unfortunate event that happened, and you just refuse to acknowledge it. Good night. Stop sending me voice memos on this phone. You are taking up my space. Was our relationship new? Yes, it was new. But it was new as of fucking October of 2023. We were in March. It was still a relatively new relationship, so I'll give that one to you. But I barely know you. You might be right about that shit. I did barely know you because you were lying about everything that you were. So yeah, I barely knew you. But this would have been that time for you to actually let me get the fuck to know you by saying, I am a fuck boy. I have no damn money. I'm a motherfucking womanizer. I am dragging the mother of my daughter from the East Coast to the West. I'm not shit. This would have been the time for you to tell me, honestly, I'm just be honest. All this time, she was here. We've been living together since the day I met you. And she's pregnant. But he probably was afraid to say that to me because he probably thought that in a fit of rage, I would definitely keep my son as a retaliation. Well, honey, you could have just told the truth at that point in time. It's too late now. Fucking idiot. Like, you're more of a fucking liability than anything else. He mentioned your two boys with autism. That was supposed to trigger me. It didn't. The reason why people talking about my sons having autism doesn't fucking bother me is because I have seen, know too many fucking badass kids, teenagers, and grown men now that don't have autism. Their parents spend the greater majority of their child's young life in and out of fucking courtrooms because your kid is bad as fuck. Go tell me how many men with autism are in jail. Go show me that. Asmodeus, you don't have autism, and you are the worst fucking man I ever met. I'm not worried about my children and them having autism, because I know that I do my job when it comes to that diagnosis. My children have been being seen by neurologists since they were both 1 year old. My children see a neurologist once a year. My children have been getting speech therapy, behavioral therapy, and occupational therapy since they were both 1 year old. I go to all the IEP meetings. I communicate shit very well. Me and the child study team at both my son's school are like this. I do my job. And to you, that might seem really time consuming and like, oh, well, who would want to do that? I don't fucking know. Ask the person that sits up here in a relationship with you, a committed ass relationship with you, and when you're not worth it. Who would want to do that shit? All of my sons still stand a very, very fucking high chance of coming out better men than half these niggas running around that don't have a fucking disease, that don't have a developmental delay. Try again, because it didn't hurt.